Hi, and welcome to Storytime with Nana. Today we're going to begin a chapter book. It's called The Missing Kitten, and it's by Holly Webb. All these stories are by Holly Webb. This one is, about a missing kitten. So we'll see what happens and how things work out, but grab your blanket, your teddy bear, whatever you need to help you cuddle and relax and take some of the stress out of your day or your night. It doesn't matter. I'll record a chapter at a time and you can listen along as long as you want to. Stop whenever you want to and keep right on going. Okay, shall we start? The Missing Kitten by Holly Webb. Chapter 1. A Fresh Start. Suzanne looked around her new bedroom with delight. It was huge, and as it was up in the roof of the cottage, it was a really interesting shape, all ups and downs. It does sound interesting. There was a beautiful window as well, with a curly handle to open it, and a big, wide windowsill that she could sit on. Wow, sounds nice. Her old bedroom had been tiny and a very boring square shape. So, it's good, isn't it? Jackson, her big brother, poked his head around the door. He had the bedroom next to hers, which was basically the other half of the roof space. Mom and Dad had said that their bedrooms used to be the attic. Imagine that, sleeping in the attic. I love it, Suzanne said happily. The window's the best thing. I love seeing all the fields and trees, and look, cows out my bedroom window. Jackson chuckled. Cows, not cars. Now that's a change. Yeah, it's really good, except for everything's pretty far away. Suzanne nodded slowly. Well, there is a store in town, she reminded him. Jackson made a face. Yeah, one store. And a blacksmith. How weird is that? And the school's in town, too, Suzanne added very quietly. I wish we didn't have to change schools. That was the thing she was least happy about with their move to the countryside. She was really going to miss her old school and her friends. Lucy and Ella had said that they would come over and stay during their next vacation. But that was a long time away. And meanwhile, she was going to start at a school where she didn't know anyone. And she certainly didn't have any friends. It'll be all right, Jackson told her cheerfully. And Suzanne sighed. He wasn't worried. He never was. Jackson was really sporty, and he found it very easy to make friends. And yet he didn't show off, so people just wanted to hang around with him. Suzanne wished she knew how he did it. Did you hear that rustling noise? Jackson pointed up at the ceiling. I bet there are mice all in that thatch. Remember to tell Mom and Dad about that, Suzanne. You need to start working on them again about a kitten, now that we're here. They said maybe after we'd moved, didn't they? Suzanne grinned at him. I know. I thought I'd maybe give them a day, though, before I started asking. Let them get some boxes unpacked first. She looked up, too. Do you really think there are mice? Jackson gazed thoughtfully at the ceiling. Probably. It sounds like it to me. Unless it's a rat, of course. Ugh, okay, I'll ask Mom now. No way I'm living in the house with a rat, Suzanne shuddered. I'm with you on that, Jackson said. Rats can be pretty big, you know. Bigger than a kitten, anyway. He made a rat-like face, pulling his lips back and showing his teeth. Stop it, Suzanne cried. Maybe we can get a grown-up cat then. I don't mind if it isn't a kitten. I'd just love to have any kind of cat. And they did say maybe we could. You'll help, won't you? You'll ask too? Jackson nodded. Yeah, although I don't like the idea of coming down in the morning to find a row of dead mice on the doormat. That's what Sam says his cat does. Suzanne looked worried. Well, I think I'd rather have a cat that just scares the mice away. Suzanne started her kitten campaign while everyone was sitting down and eating lunch. It felt really odd seeing their old table in a completely different kitchen. There's the picture. Look at that. It's so quiet, Mom said happily, looking out the open window. I don't think I've heard a single car since we got here. I love that we're down at the end of the road. I keep thinking there's something missing, Dad admitted. But it'll be great once we're used to it, and the air smells amazing. Jackson sniffed loudly. That's the cows, Dad. Suzanne made a face at him. She didn't want him distracting Mom and Dad. This was a great opportunity to mention a kitten. She took a deep breath. It's not a bit like Edward Street, is it? She said, thinking about their old home, with all the traffic. She swallowed and glanced hopefully from Mom to Dad and back again. You wouldn't worry about a cat getting run over here, would you? Dad snorted with laughter and turned to Mom. You win, Laura. She lasted more than an hour. Suzanne blinked. What do you mean? Mom reached out an arm and hugged her around the shoulder. Dad and I were talking about it last night, Suzanne. We wondered how long you'd be able to wait before you ask about a cat. I said that I thought it would be once we'd settled in a bit, and Dad said you'd ask the moment we got here. So I won, and now he has to cook dinner tonight. Simple. Take out pizza, Dad said, taking a huge bite of a sandwich. Mom smiled at him. You do realize it's a 20-minute drive to the nearest store now, don't you? You mean you were just waiting for me to ask? So can we have one? Suzanne said hopefully, eager to get back to talking about kittens. Mom nodded slowly. Yes, but we can't go off to an animal shelter tomorrow. We need to do some unpacking, and besides, I don't have a clue where the closest one is. I could find out, Suzanne says eagerly. Well, it would be really nice to have time to get to know the kitten before school starts. We only have 2 weeks, and then Jackson and I won't be home for most of the day. Dad nodded. I know, Suzanne, but I don't think we'll be able to find you a kitten right now. I know it would be wonderful to have one while you're still at home, but it won't be a huge problem if you're at school. Mom will be at work, and I'll be at home, so the kitten won't be lonely. And your new school's really close. You'll be home in like 10 minutes. Suzanne nodded. That was another thing that was different, being able to walk to school. Mom and Dad had even said that she and Jackson could walk by themselves if they wanted, since there were sidewalks the entire way. I suppose, Suzanne nodded. So we can really have a cat? You actually mean it? We can look for one? Promise, Dad told her solemnly. Suzanne beamed at him. She could come home from school and play with her cat. Her own cat. She'd wanted to have one for so long, and now it was going to happen. Suzanne! I'm off to town, Dad yelled up the stairs. Suzanne shoved an armful of t-shirts into a drawer and dashed out of her room. I'm coming! She really wanted to walk there. They'd seen the town a couple of times before. The first time was when they came to look at the house. Mom had gotten her new job at the hospital, and Mom and Dad explained that they would need to move since it was too far for Mom to drive every day. Suzanne had really missed her for those first few weeks when she had been leaving early and not getting back until it was almost time for Suzanne to go to bed. Now that they'd moved, the hospital was only half an hour away, in Longwood, the nearest town to their tiny little town, which was called Longwood Hills. Once they made the decision that Mom would take the job and agreed to buy a cottage, Suzanne and Jackson had gone for a day's visit at their new school and seen the small town again. But Suzanne had been so nervous about the school that she couldn't remember what the town was like. It's so pretty, she said as they walked along the sidewalk. Look at all the flowers. I saw a rabbit last night, Dad. Did I tell you? Only about 6 times. I almost had a heart attack when you screamed like that. I thought you'd fallen out the window. Sorry, I was excited. I've never seen a rabbit in my yard before, Suzanne giggled. Can we go down here? Is it the right way? Yep. Dad nodded. This is the quickest path down to the town. The way you and Jackson will go to school, probably. And then here's a little picture of her walking with her daddy. That's nice. It's always nice to walk with Daddy. Okay. Suzanne swallowed nervously. She was still worrying about the school. It was tiny, which was nice, she supposed. There wouldn't be that many people to get to know, but they'd probably all been together since preschool. That's a long time. They might not want a stranger joining their class at all. Dad nudged her gently with his elbow. You had a good time on your visit, didn't you? Suzanne looked up at him, surprised. It was pretty obvious what you were thinking, sweetheart. I suppose. Yes, everyone was nice. But that was just one morning. I have to go there every day. It'll be great. You'll be fine. I'm sure you will. Suzanne nodded. She didn't really want to think about it. Look, is that the town? I can see houses. She ran on ahead. And there's the store, Dad. Look. I'd better find the list, Dad muttered, searching his pockets. We definitely need bread. Can you be in charge of finding that for me? Now, where on earth did I put that list? But Suzanne wasn't listening. She had seen something, a bulletin board in the store window. It was full of advertisements, exercise classes in the church hall, someone offering to make celebration cakes, an almost new lawnmower for sale, and a litter of kittens, 3 black and white, 1 tabby, ready to leave their mother now, free to good homes. Oh my, sounds like she found a kitten, doesn't it? Well, we'll leave it there for tonight, or for today, whenever you're watching. And I'll get some more recorded, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.